New stream? Yeah. I haven't posted in a while. Okay. Oh. Pull up Valorant. Actually. Why isn't the flight thing working? Hi. There we go. Okay, what the? What's Foxtail? What is my resistance? I guess it's just blank. Let's put up. That's that. Let's see. There we go. Okay. I'm going with picking 3 departure. I'm just looking at the chart, folks. Okay. Taking off runway 09. Wait. I'm connected to VPilot, or VATSIM network here. Settings. Test, test. Test. I'm just testing the mic volume on VATSIM. Test, test. Test, test. Okay. Cosmic. UA 554. Type code is B738. Actually, I shouldn't be connecting with my engines on right now, but it's an uncontrolled airport, so I think I'll be fine. I'm going to keep in mind. Hey, just to make sure I don't do that again. Okay. Right. So we have nothing. Like, let me show you. We have absolutely no controllers, which I kind of like because I'm still getting used to this. Okay, let me get everything set up. I gotta change the thumbnail of my video, or live stream. It's a bit goofy, right? Where is it? Oh my. Files larger than 2 megabytes. 2 megabytes. Okay. I'll change that. I guess I'll just download it in JPEG. Okay. I think I'm fine. Okay, it's 3 megabytes. Okay, let's see if I can find a file for this thing. Here playing. Who is it? I don't know. Okay. File. Size reduce. Choose file. Hope I didn't download the virus. Let's see. Okay, it worked. Save. Cool. I have to change Twitch. So not used to using Twitch.
Happy with that.
Nope. Somebody's stream is open. Channel. Channel. Okay. Channel. Wait, are there thumbnails on Twitch? Yeah. Okay. 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 Let's
Navigraph, but otherwise just use your charts at home, obviously. First of all, let's look at the charts list, and we're going to plan to fly the ILS runway 25. Now there are some stars here. Again, I have a stars tutorial video if you need it. We're going to focus today on the approach chart, and then I'm going to go to the ILS DME runway 25. I'll just put that there. So here we go, pretty classic ILS chart. But don't worry, if there's something on your chart that you don't recognise on here, so a different style of ILS chart, we're going to look at a few examples today, because there are obviously several ways to do it. Now, First of all, my route is not very complete. We're not going to be looking at procedures in the Airbus as such today. We're just focusing on the charts. I'm actually just going to put the airplane into heading mode for now, and we'll carry on roughly north. We can't point a needle to.
or November 5292 Romeo. I am done with power. John Wayne ground. In 5292 or November 5292 Romeo. Could you please get the passengers on board?
N5292 are November 5292 Romeo. The jetway is going to be connected.
Oh, okay, wait. Is it gonna, okay. After this, I'll have to tune on to intercom. What's that? Is that someone? There is someone at the airport with me right now. They are all the way over there somewhere. Okay.
John Wayne ground in 5292 or November 5292 Romeo. I am done with the boarding.
Okay, and then after this, oh shoot, I forgot. So I'm taking off runway 2. Oh. Runway 20, so that'll be 200 degrees. Why is my... Okay.
Full. Full. This flight's made runway start with engines on. First of all, let's take a look out here. I'm going to head down to the FMC. If we click to the legs page, you'll see that the flight plan will back the world map transport straight to the plane. I'm just going to clear out this distance. You can see here. So grab the waypoint after the discon. Populate waypoint before and we'll execute. We're now going to head over to the initialize page and fit in some performance stuff. First, we're cruising at 26,000 feet. Execute. Clear out this distance. You can see here. So grab the waypoint after the discon. Populate waypoint before and execute. We're now going to head over to the initialize page and fit in some performance stuff. First, we're cruising at 26,000 feet.
I'm 27.
We're now going to open up the generic EFB from the top menu. It's been like on the books like EA. Clicking through to the fuel page. You'll see on
Is there a fuel
page
rate?
now serve fuel. So that's £6. So we're going to enter 6 into the FMC. Put a cost index of 100. Although zero fuel weight is available on the EFB, entry seems to be booked for now. So
Okay, 0 fuel weight. 13, 17, 30. Oh.
move straight to flaps and key speeds. We'll set flap. See, we'll put a post in here. Entry seems to be bugged for now, so we're going to move straight on to flaps and key speeds. We'll set flaps 5, both in the FMC and in the airplane, the pedestal. Turn it to the FMC, auto-populate our CG. That's done by clicking this off the CG and then clicking again. As for these speeds, when they're working, you should be able to proceed. We'll set flaps 5, both in the FMC and in the airplane, and pedestal. Turn it to the FMC, we can auto-populate our CG. That's done by clicking this off the CG and then clicking again. As for these speeds, when they're working, you should be able to access that in aircraft flight performance environment by entering your departure runway and flap setting. However, this seems to currently be bugged, Now heading up to the autopilot panel, I'm going to arm the auto throttle and heading across to the altitude selector. I'm going to dial in a cruising altitude of 26,000 feet. Please forgive some of the blurry textures you're seeing at the moment. It still isn't screening stuff in properly. We'll now activate LNAV and VNAV. The enunciators aren't very clear, but you should be able to see what they are actually yet. Also going to activate the pilot knob and VNAV selector and the V2. Now heading up to the autopilot panel, I'm going to arm the auto throttle and heading across to the altitude selector. I'm going to dial in a cruising altitude of 26,000 feet. Please forgive some of the blurry textures you're seeing at the moment. It still isn't streaming stuff in properly. We'll now activate LNAV and VNAV. The enunciators aren't very clear, but you should be able to see what they are actually yet. Also going to activate the pilot non-flying flight director, so that is the switch to choose to. Now heading.
Okay. Finally. First, push back, but I have to tune into the radio frequency first. Two decimal eight. What? Let me move Wi-Fi adapter thing. It's like an extender. Oh, let me test my Wi-Fi speed. Ookla. Yeah, it's pretty good. Like around 300. Let's see my upload though. Okay. Upload's not that good. It's only 30. I might have connected my Wi-Fi connectors on opposite sides because I rebuilt my stuff. Okay. Tuned in. Okay, push that. V-power connected. Okay. United 554, and then I'll be pushing back at gate 3. Okay. And I'm gonna have to say, is it Santa Ana traffic? Or Orange County? I think it's Santa Ana because okay, alright. Wait, let me just switch it up. They call it Santa Ana. Santa Ana traffic, United 554, pushing back on gate 3.
John Wayne ground in 5292 or November 5292 Romeo, requesting pushback.
N5292 are November 52902 Romeo. Pushback request accepted.
No. Oh my. Am I connected or no? Let's see. Yeah, I'm connected. Why are the lights in the air?
John Wayne ground in 5292 or November 5292 Romeo, requesting pushback tug to steer the aircraft to the right.
N5292 are November 52902 Romeo. Your request has been transmitted to the operator.
Shoot. That's the wrong way.
John Wayne ground in 5292 or November 5292 Romeo, requesting the end of pushback.
N5292 are November 52902 Romeo. Request to end pushback received.
United 554. Taxiing to runway 20 right through taxiway Lima. Santa Ana traffic. What is going on with the lights? I'm not going back in that view. Nope. In real life, I would actually have to take off in the next 12 minutes or else it would be a noise pollution. That's the law at Orange County, since the airport's in the middle of the city. Okay. Santa Ana traffic, United 554, taxi across runway 20 left. Okay, and then Santa Ana traffic, United 554, taxiing onto runway 20 right. Oh, that's better. Let me turn on my... Oh. There we go.
Heading up to the autopilot panel, I'm going to arm the auto throttle and heading across to the altitude selector. I'm going to dial in a cruising altitude of 26,000 feet. Please forgive some of the blurry textures you're seeing at the moment. It still isn't streaming stuff in properly. We'll now activate LNAV and VNAV. The enunciators aren't very clear, but you should be able to see that they are actually lit.
Hello?
Also
No, not this bug.
Pilot not flying this flight director, so that is the switch just here. Now on the speed selector, dialing.
Oh, okay. That is not flight director, so...
Also going to activate the pilot not flying's flight director, so that is the switch just here. Now on the speed selector, dial in our V2 speed plus 10, so in our case that is 150 knots because our V2 was 140.
No, my V2 is...
We're now going to dial in our destination ILS
knots.
on the pedestal, use the arrows until the bottom screen is showing ILS. If entry isn't working,
Okay, I will do this.
I've got the FAQ video on my channel. Find this, please check out the FAQ video on my not flying site. I'm now going to dial in the course of our destination runway. Again, if you want to know how to find this, please check out the FAQ video on my channel homepage. We're going to do this on both the pilot flying and pilot not flying side. It's now time for takeoff, so let's take that park and brake off and throttles to full. Again, I apologise for the crappy quality of the textures and all this extra UI stuff. I have switched it off, but for some...
Okay. Yeah. Turn those on later. Yeah. Got my flaps. So. These TR, yeah. What's up? Okay, I think we are good for takeoff. Okay. Oh wait, forgot about 80s or Unicom. Santa Ana traffic, United 554, taking off from runway 20 right, for to Phoenix. That was so bad. Okay, what is happening? I'm not trying to taxi. Oh shoot. What is this? I'm disconnecting.
N5292, our November 5292 Romeo. You were not cleared to take off.
What the heck, man? Why does that happen? Wait, let me try taking it off again without clicking anything. Depart. What? Why? We're going so well. Okay, I'm disconnected from VATSIM. I'm gonna try taking it off again by myself.
John Wayne Tower, N5292, our November 5, 292 Romeo at runway 20, right ready for departure. Straight out departure.
Is my route still? Oh shoot, it is. Okay, look at this. Look, I can steer, I can like... What? See, I'm up to a V2 speed already. I can rotate, like, perfectly fine. Landing gear up. That's it to, like, whatever. Autopilot is engaged. Actually, I don't know if it's gonna work. I'm doing you with this. Thanks.
N5292, our November 5, 292 Romeo, leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved.
I shouldn't have done this.
N5292, our November 5, 292 Romeo. Did you copy? N5292, our November 5, 292 Romeo. Did you copy? N5292, our November 5, 292 Romeo.
Okay, let's try that again. Oh my god. Okay, 3. Phoenix. What is this route? Oh. Why would you take this route? I'm importing my last documents. Let's see if I can find this again. What? Why is it back to this again? Is it too loud already? Okay, 3. Okay. File plan. Okay, it's filed again. Let's see if this can work. In real life, this will be illegal because it's past 11. I'm just gonna speed through startup. Actually, no, I'm gonna connect to VBOT first. Okay. Battery. No. What?
John Wayne ground. In 5292 are November 5292 Romeo. Could you please send a ground power unit?
And 5292 are November 52902 Romeo. A ground power unit is on the road.
Can someone just load up next to me?
John Wayne 5292 are November 5292 Romeo. Could you please get the passengers on board?
And 5292 are November 52902 Romeo. The jetway is going to be connected.
Graphics. Engine. What else? What else do we do? Look, I'll go. Okay. I know.
Welcome to the County-Phoenix VATSIM. The pitot heat on the fuel pump and switch on the APU starter. Once the APU is available, as signified by blue light here, we're going to switch on the APU gen. Before we continue, I'll take care of a few other bits on the panel. So the fuel pump's on, yaw damper on, the pitot heat on and the window heat on. Going to switch on the hydraulic pumps and switch on the APU bleed. Next up, flick the ignition switch to engine number 1 and set engine number 1 to ground, then head down to the pedestal and introduce fuel. When you've got an M1 of 20 on engine number 1, a good start. You can now repeat the process. Flick the ignition switch to engine number 2. Introduce fuel on the pedestal. Good start on that. Flick on the engine bleeds ignition switch. We're going to flick on the engine bleeds. Turn the APU bleed off. We're going to set the packs to auto. Same with the generators. The engine generators go on. The APU generators go off. And now we can also switch off the APU and ground power unit. Lights as required from this point, and anti-ice as required. Now emergency exit lights 2 armed, and I'll also flick on seatbelts to auto, as well as power to the cabin utilities
John
and
Wayne ground.
in-flight entertainment.
In
I'll also
5292
request for
are
ground power
November
cut to be
5,
removed.
2902 Romeo. Could you
Be sure
please send a
to
ground power
increase
unit?
the brightness of the radio panels,
5292 are November
and also when
5292
ready,
Romeo.
set the
Ground power unit is on the
transponder
road.
to TARA. That's it, we can now request pushback,
John Wayne
and of
ground.
course remember
In
to disconnect the
5292
parking
are
brake
November
before
5,
the pushback
2902
begins.
Romeo.
The only
I am
extra
ground
step
power.
you'll need to do when starting from cold and dark is to manually switch on the Pilot Flying's flight director. Aside from that, from here on out you can follow my full flight tutorial for the 737 MAX, which is on the end cards.
Okay. Um,
John Wayne ground. In 5292 are November 5292 Romeo. Requesting pushback.
In 5292 are November 5292 Romeo. Pushback request accepted.
United 554, pushing back at gate 3, departing from runway 20, Right. Taxing via Lima. That's perfect. I hope. Okay, so it's... Oh shoot, yeah. Let's steer to the left.
John Wayne ground. In 5292 are November 5292 Romeo. Requesting pushback tug to steer the aircraft to the left.
And 5292 are November 5292 Romeo. Your request has been transmitted to the operator.
Okay, and the lights are normal now. That's how everything else goes according to plan today. Or tonight.
John Wayne ground. In 5292 are November 5292 Romeo. Requesting the end of pushback.
Are there anybody even at the airport? Wait, how is it connected? Oh. Why am I not showing showing up on the map? What? Okay, I am now. November 5292 Romeo. Taxiing to runway 20 right around Lima from gate 3. Center of the traffic. That was stupid. I wasn't on frequency too. United 554 taxiing to runway 20 right via Lima Center of the traffic. Oh my. This stream has just been horrible. Six.